ready or not, mm, I'll give you everything and more. All that I got is yours. I'll give you everything. All that you're looking for. What's up, y'all? This is Ty. That song ain't got nothing at all to do with why I am here, but I just felt like singing a little bit. I think I heard it in the background on my neighbor or something, so I felt like, And one of y'all asked me why wasn't I singing in the last video, so I said, why don't I just kick this one off with a little tune real quick. But what's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here. Listen, I have a confession, y'all. I have a obsession with Tubi movies. I love watching Tubi movies. I do. I know it's not the best acting, it's not the best budget, but there are many of them on there. Y'all be sleeping on Tubi. There's some of them on there that have really good plots and storylines. Like I said, the acting isn't always the greatest, but they have some interesting plots and storylines. You know, they be having those titles like Secure the Bag, Get Money Too. I don't really watch the hood gangster ones, the ones about the drug dealer stuff, because it's pretty much the same story over and over. But I like the thrillers that they have on there. And it's always some deceitful friend doing something. You can't trust nobody. I saw one, it was called Diary of a Unicorn or something. She had a sex addiction, and that had a lot of twists and turns in it. I've seen one of my favorites is Concealment, and I'm waiting for Concealment 2. There's a lot of twists and turns. I think it's called Concealment, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot, but I like the ones that have the twists and turns and the dramas and all that. The thrillers. I like those. Interesting. And don't sleep on Tubi, y'all, because they don't just have those films. They also have the old school films that we enjoyed. They have a lot of the old films from the 90s. They have a lot of old school television shows on Tubi. Is Tubi giving me a check? Why am I promoting Tubi? But they do. They have, I watched Different Strokes on there. I watched Give Me a Break. That's My Mama, What's Happening. They had some old cartoons I hadn't seen. I'm dating myself, right? But they had some old cartoons on there. But listen, don't sleep on Tubi. But my guilty pleasure, I watch those Tubi urban thriller dramas. You know, who knows? I might star in one day. But anyway, I'm here to talk about the ones that I watched this weekend. And I watched 3 of them. The Stepmother and The Stepmother 2. And The Stepmother 3, the trilogy. Okay. The Stepmother was written and directed and created by Chris Stokes. Now, y'all may know who Chris Stokes is. If I'm not mistaken, he is the creator and manager or something like that of those boy bands, Immature and B2K. And he also has in here, Marquise Houston is starring in this, in The Stepmother Part 1. He's in all of them, but he's the main star in Part 1. And it also stars reality star Erica Mena. That's her name, right? Erica Mena. I think she's on Love and Hip Hop. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, it's about this guy, Eddie, and his son. His son is about to go off to college. And his wife, he's happily married, and we see the family, and he's about to go off to college and all this good stuff. And then, unfortunately, his mom passes away. So when she passes away, Eddie relocates to a new town with his brother, works at a bowling alley that his brother owns, and he meets this beautiful woman named Zoe. Now, Zoe, played by Erica Mena, his real name is Elizabeth. Zoe is batshit crazy. Listen, and I'm saying to myself, Ty, why are you watching this? You don't need to be watching nothing with no crazy women. You really don't need to be watching that. You don't get triggered now. That's what I'm saying. But let me stop. Let me not get in my business. Let's not do that. We're going to be nice. But anyway, so, because she reminded me of something. Shut up, Tyrese. So, what was I saying? So we find the movie kicks off. We see Erica Mena's character with some dude tied up, and she set him on fire, and she had a wig on, and the fire looked cheap as hell, y'all. The fire looked so ridiculous. But I was tuned in. I was like, okay, let's see where this is going. I want to see where this was going. So basically, she's a victim herself. Her real name is Elizabeth. Someone she was tied up, someone she had a relationship with, raped her in front of her teenage son. Her teenage son was traumatized. Somehow the guy who did this got away with this. Her son committed suicide. So that's where she flipped out. And so she took revenge and killed the guy who raped her in front of her son. She took revenge and killed him and burned his house down. So now you thinking, okay, you got your revenge, but somehow that's made her nuts. So now she goes from family to family trying to recreate this perfect family. And when things don't go her way, she loses it. And that's pretty much the premise. And you know what? It's pretty much the reverse version of, y'all remember the movie The Stepfather? They had him in the 90s and then they revived it a few years back. That's what all it is. It's just in reverse. It's just the stepmother going crazy. So we watch her do all these things. Now here's my problem with these movies. She keeps getting away. No one can seem to catch her. The police are incompetent. But the people are so stupid when you find yourself yelling, why are you so stupid? No one calls the cops. Everybody wants to take matters into their own hands and confront her. No. If I find out, oh, my friend is dating or married to someone who's a missing serial killer, I ain't confronting you. I ain't not, oh, look, I found the evidence. Hell no. I'm going to the cops. But see, we wouldn't have a film if they did that. So anyway, that was Stepmother 1. Stepmother 2, which I must say I think was my favorite of them all. That one, she's moved on to a new family, but she's still talking about the Marquise Houston character. But she's moved on to a new family. And this one, the son actually likes her. But the problem here is Jonathan Wesley is in this one. And what's his name? Jonathan Wesley or Wesley Jonathan? What's the guy's name? Wesley Jonathan. He's in this one. And he plays a private eye. He's best friends with her new husband. And he's the one who found out. He did some digging. And of course he confronts her and he's like, listen, I know that's not your real name. Who are you? And all this other stuff. Now here's where the plot thickens in this one. The guy she's married to in part 2, which I think was my favorite one. The guy she's married to in part 2, he is not, his old wife comes back into the picture. So there's the drama. Now that triggered her. How dare this chick try to come back and take her man is what she's saying. So you have that whole conflict. And stepmother goes berserk and she's kicking ass and taking names in this because she's like, she got rid of the best friend because he was on to her. She tried to take out the kid's mother. That one was the most entertaining for me. I enjoyed that one the most. I'm telling you, that one, I had fun with that one because it was just so outrageous and crazy. Which leads us to part 3, which kind of ties them all in. In part 3, she's on to another family again. We see her. She switches wigs. She goes to this family. When things don't work out the way she wants them to, she goes to another family. And she causes havoc. The thing that drives me crazy is no one calls the police in time, and especially in Stepmother 3. Stepmother 3 pissed me off the most because in this one, they showed her she killed this family. She got away with killing this family. And now she decides to go back to Eddie from part 1 and kidnap him. She's got him chained up and all of that. And while she's doing that, she's also tending to another family who has, in that one, part 3 had, the storyline was a little crazy for me because in part 3, this other family that she's dealing with, she's about to marry this guy, and then up pops his daughter from a previous marriage, and he's like, oh yeah, me and my ex, she decided she was going to keep her daughter and I would keep the son, but now the daughter's there and the daughter's rude as hell, and all of that was like, okay, these plots are crazy. And with that one, she's still keeping Eddie hostage while balancing this family. And we learn of her multiple personalities. This one was a little ridiculous. And then when they find out, Eddie's son does a video that goes viral saying he's looking for his father because his father's missing. And he might be with this woman. The new family he's with, the teenage girl, sees that, and instead of going to the damn cops, she contacts Eddie's son, Scott. That's his name, Eddie's son named Scott, and tells him. And now these teenagers are going to try to handle this on their own to take down this woman. That pissed me off. Call the damn cops so you could get this psycho. You seen what she did to y'all the last time. Why? So it was just crazy, but it was still entertaining. So long story short, she does get caught, and she's back in the psych ward at the end of this. But I want to say, these movies are, if y'all have seen them, tell me your thoughts on the movie. Not the greatest plot, but it was entertaining. I was entertained. So sometimes I just want to be entertaining. Sometimes I laughed at certain things. I was laughing at how stupid some of the victims were, because it's like, why are you confronting this psycho? Why would you do that? Why would you do it? But it was just fun to watch. I just thought I'd share that. So if you haven't seen, tell me your thoughts about those if you've seen them. And tell me what Tubi movie you've watched and enjoyed. There's been quite a few. And you know what? I think I'm gonna review one Tubi movie a week. I think I'm gonna call it, I don't know, I'll come Tubi Day or something, or Tubi reviews. I might have to do that. I don't know. But I thought the Stepmother trilogy was entertaining. It had its flaws, but I think my favorite one out of these three was part 2. I will say that. So that's it. That's all I have. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video.